Welcome back to the channel, gents. Right. Every time you trade skill for validation, you stay weak. Right? I'll say that again. Every time you trade a skill for validation, you stay weak. Right? Are you going to master the craft or to make someone like you? Right? Are you going to master the craft or are you going to make someone to like you, right? So essentially, like, in other words, like, what are you doing? What is the goal? Are you doing it to master the craft or are you doing it to have people like you, right? Let's jump right into it. So I'm going to look at, with that, what I just said, competency over approval, right? Choosing competency over approval. That essentially was the topic for today. So, like, nice guy thinking. Let's look, what is nice guy thinking? So nice guy thinking is men are raised to believe being liked equals being worthy, right? Which is crap, right? Men are not, that's how we were raised today. It was, being liked equals being worthy, right? Being competent, being able to do things. I'm talking specifically about nice guys. Most men today are raised thinking that being liked in today's world equals being worthy. So what happens as a result of that? They chase praise instead of results of actual competency, actual results. The fear of failure and judgment leads to hiding instead of honing the skills, right? Because they fear the fear of failure, they hide that failure. They don't, and fear of that judgment, they hide these things. They're essentially fake. They don't hone the actual skills, right? And it stems from nice guy thinking is like this, right? Well, they hide their mistakes. They don't bring it out to the open, and then they hide it with half truths to make themselves not look bad. So, some things to ask yourself. I've gotten this, some things to ask yourself to see. Do you choose competency or do you choose approval, right? So do you feel uncomfortable when no one noticed your effort? So when you do something, do you feel uncomfortable when you notice that people aren't recognizing it or, no one is noticing that you're doing these things? I used to feel this as well. Are you more focused on how you look, right, your appearance, than how well you perform, right? Because there's a delicate balance. I'm not going to get too much into it, but there is a delicate balance of being competent and performing and being seen. Like, you want to be seen by the leaders, by your co-workers. You want to be seen by them doing what you should be doing, or not over delivering, but delivering on what you should be delivering. And then another massive one that stems massively from the nice guy thinking or hidden man thinking is, do you take criticism personally instead of seeing it as a growth tool? This one, I know so many men, and this channel is about talking to men directly, so women, I'm not going to include you if you are watching. I do have one or two women that apparently watch. So you're welcome to watch, but I don't know so much about the women's side. So, do you take criticism personally? As I just said, I have people I've seen, I've worked with, and you try, you give a criticism in a sense of trying to help them grow, and they just either rage at you, or they shut down and disengage, or and ignore you completely, right? I've had that. Or they just put the mask on and say yes, yeah, and then they just keep doing what they were doing in the first place. So, but do you take so? And I will say that is if you can develop this mindset of it's a growth tool, criticism is a growth tool, you're gonna excel so much more in life. What does this cost you? What does okay? So like we know approval seeking. I've done many videos of this around, but in this context, in competency over approval. So the cost of approval seeking in with regards to competency, right? Which in actual fact, competency equals leadership in my opinion. But okay, we'll get into that later. So when you keep seeking approval, you plateau early, right? You plateau early because you never master anything, because you're always seeking approval. So when that approval stops coming, you quit, you move on to something else, you go find something else. So yeah, so you stay in shallow waters, right? You stay in shallow waters to be liked. That's it. You want to be liked, so you stay in these shallow waters. You don't go deep into things, right? And just between you and me, like, not between you and me, but no one respects a man who doesn't respect his own path. I'm learning this highly as I'm going with this YouTube and with the things I'm dealing with. If you don't gain mastery in your path, in that one thing that you've chosen, I would suggest the best way, in my opinion, would be to choose 3 to 4 things, but one main thing, right? One main path that you can go deep into, and then 3 or 4 or three other broad generalized topics between. I would say that is the best way to do it. So you become unique in your experiences, but you don't respect someone who doesn't know what they're doing. For example, teaching. I've met so many people, and I'm not saying I'm a great teacher, I'm the best teacher or anything like that, but we've had so many people come in here that don't know how to teach, don't know what they're doing, and no one respects them because they don't, like, okay, we give, in context, they've been here for a while, they've been teaching for a long time, but they don't know how to teach. No one respects them, in a sense. Like, the kids don't respect them, other teachers don't respect them. Whereas obviously if you're a new teacher, everyone has understanding. You got to build this experience, you got to build. But if you've been here for a while, then and you don't know how to teach, the respect drops. I've seen it firsthand. I've had it firsthand. I mean, I was coasting in my life, the comfort zone. I didn't apply anything. I lost a lot of respect from people. So the shift. Why? So this is the mindset shift that you want. Why competency wins, right? Like, why the competency wins. So competent men lead quietly but powerfully. Like, just comprehend that. Competent men lead quietly but powerfully, right? They show up. They are there. They are competent in their path. They are competent dealing with things, with mistakes, with responsibilities. They are competent, right? They respect men who deliver. They respect the flows to men. Respect flows to men who deliver results, right? Not approval. They're not seeking approval. They want the results. They're after the results. And obviously, I said there's a delicate balance. You have to be seen doing it as well. You can't just disappear and have the results. You have to make sure that people see you getting these results along the way, right? And mastery earns influence without validation or needing validation. If you understand what I mean. Because you've mastered this, you know what you're talking about. You've earned this. You naturally will gain an influence because people can pick up that you actually know what you're talking about. That, hey, this person has mastered this niche or this topic or this job or whatever it is he's doing, and then you won't need validation because you know what you're talking about. You're capable. You're comfortable in it. You don't need validation of others anymore. So let's look, how do we build competency over approval? Like, what do we do? Okay, first thing, number one, keep your own scoreboard. That's it. Things that get measured get results, right? So track your progress. Track your progress. And the key word is track your progress, not praise. Don't, because I mean, I've done this. I presume most of you guys have done this. We remember being praised for things that we've done at work or in life, right? The praise that we got. I remember being praised for things I did at school and stuff like that. The competitions or the what do you call it, the certificates that they hand out, right? Being praised for things, but I never tracked the progress. I don't remember progress in a sense of those things or what I did to achieve it or whatever. I just remember praise. So keep your own scoreboard. Keep it to yourself. Track your results. Track your progress. Start where you are today. You mark down where you are today, and then you go and you see how you improve. You mark down how you improve, without looking for validation or approval. And number two is build in silence. Build in silence. I said you want to be seen to a degree doing the things you're supposed to be doing, but build in silence. Don't overtly tell people what you're doing. Don't shout to the world your dreams, your plans, or what you're working on. Don't. Build in silence. Let the outcomes speak for themselves. Deliver on the outcomes. Over deliver on the outcomes. They will speak to itself. As I said, just gotta make sure people see you leading in that position. And what this competency requires tunnel vision. Like I will say that competency requires tunnel vision, right? You've got to, because like myself included, shiny object syndrome. That's what we can call it. Shiny object syndrome. I had that before I started the YouTube. I tried SEO. I was trying to learn SEO. I was trying to learn. I'm a teacher, so I was looking at like teaching online, having my own language school. What else? I did a few other things. SEO. I was looking at streaming. I was looking at. I can't remember the top of my head. There's one more thing that I was trying to do. SEO. It wasn't an agency. SMMA agency. That is so popular today. I see everywhere. I can't remember exactly now, but and all these things create shiny object syndrome. So you see, oh, that's something new I can take. That's something new I can do. That's something, and you don't stick to one thing. You don't go deep into one thing. You stay in the shallow waters because you're always changing, right? So competency requires you to block all those things out. You've chosen the path, right? You go obviously choose smartly, go through it, and you can adjust. For example, I wanted to do SEO. I started studying it. I wasn't much invested in it. Wasn't really for me. Now I'm doing it now in a different sense with YouTube and stuff. Now it's a bit different. But studying it strictly, I didn't like it. The tutoring online or making my own language school, I found I didn't actually enjoy it. It's not something I want to do. So I shifted to the next thing. Well, not the next thing, but I found YouTube, or I started dealing with things in my life, or learning and then started doing my own YouTube, and I found that, hey, you know what? I actually enjoy this. I enjoy finding out these things, researching and sharing it with you guys, and helping men to overcome these things. So tunnel vision, guys, tunnel vision. Learn to take honest feedback. Again, learn to take honest feedback. It's not personal, it's just data. Take that criticism, take that honest feedback, and go with it, run with it, build with it, use it, incorporate it into your competency, right? And then reconnect with your why, right? Think about it. Is your why internal or external, right? Think about it. Just and try reconnect with that why. You obviously you want it internal, you don't want it external, but find your why.